Hello again, thanks for joining. Electrotren is a Spanish manufacturer of model railways, but they've been bought over by Hornby at some point in the past, and all manufacturing has been moved over to China, along with everything else that Hornby does these days. But these vintage models are actually made in Spain, and they come in these fantastic retro boxes as well. These are second-hand purchases, obviously, and we're going to take a look at them today. So the smaller of the two boxes is this one with the orange on it, and it doesn't give you much clue about what's inside other than 1402 printed on this end of the box, but it might have actually had a different flap going across like this, which has come away in the years that this has been in existence. I'm not actually sure when this was made, there's no manufacturing date on it, but I suspect it's quite old, possibly the 70s, maybe even the 60s. But let's get this one open and we'll check out what's inside. Well, it's obviously a kind of tank wagon, six-wheeled, with Transferra logos on it. It might actually be a cement wagon, I'm not 100% sure. Let me know in the comments below if you know. Anyway, let's take a closer look. So this model is showing its age a little bit, and some of the transfer does look as though it's perishing a little bit as well. But it is a nice little retro model with a lot of appeal. It's got these little handrails here. This is actually made of metal, along with a little brake lever there. We have a big coupling at the front. It looks a bit like the Lima ones. It's all made of metal, and it does actually cantilever separate to the chassis with a little screw holding it on. And the chassis is made of metal as well, as are the buffers. The main tank is made of plastic, and the transfer is very glossy, and it's got some additional writing on the side of this tank wagon, which has been printed really quite nicely. Not sure what this white block is at the side here, it's a bit off kilter, but the rest of it looks pretty good. And down at the other end we have this fantastic looking part here, which is an additional piece of plastic with a metal piece on the end, I think. Or it might just be painted. Either way, it's very convincing. It looks as though it possibly had something up here at the top of the tank which has fallen out, which is a shame. It also has some printing, and you can see the numbers go on the side of this box here. I'm not sure that's prototypical, so maybe the transfer application wasn't quite right, but it certainly looks quite good with the red additional parts, and the part there on the side of the tank has actually been painted red. The ladders up to the top are made of metal as well, with the little handrails as well that you can see. And these parts here, which look really good, are just part of the main plastic moulding of the tank. And we also have railings at this end as well, which are also made of metal. Underneath, the wheels are made of plastic, but they do have little metal axles running through them. They revolve not too bad, but not great, and the flanges are really big, very indicative of the period. We have a little bit of detail on the chassis, but not much, and a couple of screws holding it together. It's a very vintage look to this model, but it actually has a lot of appeal to me anyway, and I think it's got a lot going for it. So I think it's a good opener, but let's check out what we've got in the larger of the two boxes. So this one is brighter red colour, and I think I'm missing a part at the end here. It does say mod 12 on there, I'm not quite sure what that means. And at this end we just have the Electrotren logo, different to the Electrotren logo on the side of the box, which is quite funny. Anyway, let's get this open and we'll check it out. So we've got a bit of tissue paper with this one as well. Again, it is a Transferra livery, and it's not applied quite as good as the tank. And this model does have a lot more printed numbers all over it as well, and writing all the way down the side of the wagon. I think this was originally white, but it seems to be going a bit yellow with age, and it has this silver roof, which has been applied not too bad actually. It looks quite good. I think that's a separate piece. This end we've got the usual steps going up, which is an extra piece. These are made in plastic, and they are a bit pliable as well, which is good because they'll take a few knocks. And we have these handrails at the side, which are part of the main moulding, but they've been picked out in black, along with the little markers on the corners there. We also have some more writing on the ends here, but there is a lot of rivet detail, especially in the corners, which is great. And also along the top here is a lot of rivets there as well. You can see on this side that the doors do actually open, which is pretty cool, but there's no interior details to have a look at. But the fact that these pretty good moulding of doors that do actually slide along here is very nice. This one has got a bit of a problem here with the masking because it's very fuzzy on this black part. I think it is meant to be like that. There is another one here which is done a lot better, but this one looks really quite poorly done. Some of the paint's coming off in the corners here as well, which is showing the age of this model. As per the tank wagon, we have a metal chassis here, a lot of detail here with pipework and bracing and little tanks as well. And it all looks really good at this point as well. I'm really impressed with the underframe on this model. We've even got brake gear almost in line with the wheels. I think this one actually might have been knocked out a little bit of alignment. And the wheels are again plastic with very thin metal axles. They don't revolve that well, but it's not too bad overall. You can see just underneath this coupling there is a screw there which holds this model together, so it seems to be pretty well constructed. And finally, at this end of the model is even more printing as well. There's certainly a lot of things to read on this model. And there is, again, more detail. I like these little hatches here. They're very impressive. And the buffers here, I think they're actually metal added into the metal chassis, although they might actually be plastic. I'm not 100% sure. But there is a lot to enjoy in this model. Okay, the finish isn't that good, but the actual moulding and the amount of detail that's on here is really good. So let's put both of these onto the scales and we'll see how much they weigh. The tank wagon weighs 72 grams. And the box wagon is slightly heavier, 76 grams. So two very interesting models from this Spanish manufacturer. I actually have a lot of time for Electrotren. I think they've been pretty good when they were making them in Spain. Now that they've been made in China, it's almost like they've lost the soul of what made them different from every other manufacturer, and they're just like any other Chinese-made model manufacturer these days. These particular models, the tank wagon is fantastic, I think. It's weathered the storm of many years of use, I think, pretty well. It's got the metal chassis as well, and I think it's got some really cool looks, and I especially like the pipework on it. So there's a lot going for that model. The box van is starting to show its age a little bit, especially with the printing on the side of it, which is very fuzzy, especially in certain places. However, what is really good is the underframe detail and the extra parts put onto this model, so it probably could benefit from a repaint perhaps, and it would really bring it back to life again. However, that said, both these models for the time are absolutely fantastic, I think. A lot of detail on them and a lot of appeal as well. It hasn't changed my thoughts on old Electrotren stuff. I'll continue to look out for it because I think they're really good. But that's just what I think. What do you think of these models? Let me know in the comments below. Be interested to hear your thoughts. I'm going to put the tank wagon, my favourite out of the two, onto the turntable so we can see all the way around. And in a moment, an icon will appear with another video I've done. Just click on that and I'll see you there. But thanks for watching this one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. See ya.
So model trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, in tiny worlds, choo choo. So model trains, tiny trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, in tiny worlds, choo choo.